Okay, so everything should be okay this time. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes, it's working, I think.
Yeah, in the comments below. Wait, hold on. Now. Okay. I just want to see. Okay, but it claims that it's live.
Is it live even if you mute it? Like, even though it's muted, they can still hear us?
Hello, hello. I just want to see.
Okay, yeah, it works. Should we just start?
Yeah, sure. I just hate how, like that is weird. How comes it's not showing up on...
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, where is it? Because I want to click on our video too.
Right?
What if no one can find it? I'm coughing, but it's not the coronavirus.
Right?
What if no one can find it?
Okay, so I'm assuming it's working.
Let's just...
So we're just gonna go on like this is working, guys. The chat is
I see
open.
it. I see it. It's live. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Perfect.
Ooh. Okay. And so the chat is ready for y'all.
Feel free to be generous in the comments. Drop some super chats if you feel like it.
We're just up here. We're just up. that sounds nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know who else is up right now.
Hopefully our night owls will come join us. But guys, this is breaking news. In case you didn't know, on April 25th, it was reported that idols visited Itaewon clubs that were the cause of a new wave of coronavirus cases in South Korea. Originally, idols such as Jungkook were accused of attending, and he gave one accuser a piece of his mind. You can go check that out on another video we did earlier on how that whole situation went down. It is hilarious. But recently, Dispatch surprisingly revealed who the Itaewon idols really were. They included some shockingly familiar names like Jungkook of BTS, Mingyu of 17, Jaehyun of NCT, and I always butcher his name, I'm sorry. I think it's Eunwoo of ASTRO. They were all together during this time, and they reportedly started at a restaurant, and then they went to two different clubs. Because the virus can remain dormant in the body for 14 days, the Korean Center for Disease Control requested everyone who attended these clubs between April 24th and May 6th to stay home for 2 weeks. Now, according to Dispatch, the four idols were tested, and their results came out to be negative. But still, the idols would have had to stay home until May 10th to be in the clear.
Well, Jungkook and Mingyu did not have official schedules during that time. Jaehyun emceed for Inkigayo on April 26th, on May 3rd, and May 10th, and Cha Eun-woo went to all the Astro comeback promos for the Gateway, including Music Bank, Show Music Core, etc., which started on May 7th. So there's no Oh, okay. So there's no telling the impact, if any, unfortunately, that their activity caused. We still don't know, but, only time will tell, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the agencies are also under fire for their response to the reports, with some stating that it was their idols' private lives, and it is, or that it's unable to be confirmed. So far, only Big Hit has released a follow-up statement to the dispatch report. They apologized and admitted their lack of due diligence, and they promised to take measures so that it doesn't happen again. We actually have the letter pulled up here, so we can actually read that for you. So they say, this is our statement on Jungkook visiting Itaewon. First, we'd like to bring up how various media outlets had called us about whether Jungkook visited Itaewon or not last week, and how our handling of the situation was problematic. It's true that Jungkook visited Itaewon. He did not go to the problematic place where the patient in early May had confirmed the case, and he went about a week beforehand. He followed the government regulations and voluntarily got checked for Corona-19 or COVID-19, and we decided that it was not our place to interfere with his personal life. However, we have no excuse that we placed the artist's personal life before we were able to emphasize the importance of social distancing. We bow our heads in apology. Jungkook visited the restaurant and bar with his friends on the night of April 25th. Afterwards, he did not have a cough or a fever, and his results came out negative. He is also deeply regretting on how he didn't follow social distancing measures seriously. Big Hit Entertainment is currently doing our best to follow COVID-19 prevention measures such as social distancing, and we will work harder to make sure that this doesn't happen again. We apologize for worrying many people, including fans. And then the other artist labels have not yet released any statements. But yeah.
So that's basically all the news that we've gotten on this so far. I was really shocked to hear the names because it's like, I know so many of these people.
Same.
Normally I don't know anyone. But yeah, while I can definitely empathize with anyone, and sympathize with anyone who longs to see their friends and loved ones and just wants to spend time with people like they used to, we do have to accept the way that the world is right now. Nearly half the world is in a lockdown state, and they're practicing social distancing or physical distancing in hopes of stopping the spread of this pandemic. This is just a case of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, yes, the South Korean government has allowed clubs and bars to reopen, but that doesn't mean you have to go clubbing and bar hopping right away. Most governments are very concerned about the state of their economies, and rightly so, but that means sometimes they are making decisions based on maintaining or saving those economies rather than prioritizing the safety of the public. So basically, even though your country may tell you, hey, it's okay to go to certain places, it's open now, we really need to discern those risks for ourselves and ask ourselves, like, do I really need to go here right now this minute? Is it worth risking my health? Is it worth risking the health of my loved ones? And yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Honestly.
Yeah, so basically it was, I mean, and before y'all come for us, y'all gonna come for us in the comments.
I'm sipping tea.
I'm here for it. But it was pretty irresponsible. It's not, and it's not something, it's sad because it's not something that they're entirely guilty for, because you can empathize with them, and you can see where, like, even over here in Canada, they're just starting to open up things, like, slowly, and you see people kind of rushing to go back to the normalcy of before the pandemic, right? And you see people, like, friends from different households hugging and, just down on the street, and it's, so we get it, but it's still not a smart move. And I mean, just as you said before, it's something where, like, it's something that you can do because the government said you can, but you really shouldn't.
It's like, people have to, like, think for themselves. Like, government, I recently learned that government means, like, govern the mental. Like, these people control your minds, they control our thoughts, and that's not actually a good thing.
Yeah, don't let them.
Yeah.
That is the purpose. Like,
Mhm.
if you guys look up, I don't know, we're kind of into etymology and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
you can't allow these people to think for you, because just because they say they want to kind of do a test run of how's everything going to be if we kind of try to return to normal and, kind of turn back the hands of time to the way that our economy was before. And the people that are kind of going out right now, you guys are being guinea pigs.
Exactly.
Right?
They're going to see what happens with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why do you want to be tested on like that?
Right? So, and that's the thing. It's not going to be a standalone incident either. Like, this has just made big news because these are very popular, very relevant K-pop stars, 4 of them. And, I mean, BTS is like one of the biggest, or not even one of the biggest, it's like literally the biggest boy band in the world right now. So this is making huge news. But, this is going to happen in Calgary at the Burger King when they decide to reintroduce sit-in dining.
That's
like,
true.
There's going to be a cluster of more COVID infections. And then afterwards, it's going to be traced back to that one time that one COVID patient decided to have a Whopper, right?
This is going to go on for a minute.
Right?
It's true.
It's going to happen in LA at the Good Life Fitness. And then they decide to open up the swimming pools. And there's going to be 200 cases from the person who decided to go swimming when they had a cold.
Oh, jeez.
Right?
Yeah.
So
they're just going to test different, like, areas of the economy and see what's, like, the safest. And whatever proves to be the most, like, to cause the most cases, they're going to, like, close them again.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's like they're going to be running tests for a minute now on the public.
So if you want to get caught up in that, like, that's up to you, but it's like, we don't recommend it. I'm so introverted. I'm so cool during this. Like, I've been like, ooh, I can catch up on my favorite books, and like, I'm okay. We never open up again. Like,
watch some dramas.
Right?
I need to watch them right now, actually. But yeah, how are you guys spending your like, this whole situation? Is it driving you crazy, or are you just like chilling? I feel like there's 2 modes that people are in right now. I do want to add that, like, these guys, they're young, they're good friends, and I totally get them wanting to, like, hang and catch up. So I'm not faulting them in that regard. I think the restaurant is, like, one thing, but, like, going clubbing and then going to bars and stuff in this climate is pretty risky. And although we love to, I'm gonna get hate in the comments, I know, but although we love to infantilize our favorite idols and act like they're all innocent, sweet babies, like, these guys are in their 20s and they're old enough to understand risky behavior. Like, I really hope that they continue to, like, test negative and no one else is affected. I hope their group mates haven't been affected, because you got to think about that.
Yes.
The staff members' families. Like, remember, like, your actions right now have an effect. Yes, a ripple effect on so many people. And so, yeah, I hope everybody's safe and sound. But because, like, despite what some of these agencies may have said about this being the private lives of their idols, like, nothing anyone does in this climate is really just your own private life. Like, you're having an effect on the public. Exactly. Yeah. So we just need to watch out for each other and be thoughtful and mindful more now, now more than ever. So these agencies out here, they're really tripping by saying this is their private life. Like, no, this is, like, everybody's safety.
Yeah. I agree with all of that. There's something I was gonna say, but now I'm like, I totally, like, my mind blanked now.
Oh no, remember. I'll put remembering vibes your way.
But like, are any of you guys actually planning on, like, as soon as your respective country or city declares it okay to go back to the clubs or go back to, whatever entertainment district or activity, are you gonna, like, just run and go there? Because like, personally, me, like, I would wait a cool, like, couple months to see what the numbers are looking like before I actually decided like, hey, I think that sounds safe now. Like, I wouldn't be the first one, the first day to jump out and go, oh, we can go to the theater again. Let's go. Like,
Yeah, I'm not waiting on a signal from the government to be like, hey, it's safe, and then just rush out, like,
right?
saying, because we've never lived through this before, you know? Like, most of us who are alive right now, we didn't live through the Spanish flu. We didn't live through all these, you know, the bubonic plague and stuff. Like, this is our first time going through something like this. Hopefully our last, too. So we should be careful. We should be taking precautions. It's that one mistake that you make that, you know, could affect a lot of people.
Exactly.
So stay safe, everybody. But I totally get it. Like when people talk about like the new normal, this is the new normal. I cringe so hard. Like, who wants this
like
as a
nobody
normal?
wants to accept this as yeah.
Like, it's okay to stay in because you feel like it, but you don't want to be terrified that there's something out there that's gonna get you. Like,
I'm just like I can't help but be a bit disappointed in them.
I know.
I can't help but be a bit disappointed. Like, it's just like, you guys, and I know that it's kind of different too because South Korea was so stringent in their and rigorous in their testing and everything like that. Things like, I feel like people were kind of lulled into a false sense of security because like so many things were able to return to like semi normalcy, especially compared to like places in the West and stuff like that. Like Canada didn't come back right away.
That's
Even
true.
United States, yeah.
We don't know like what their government was telling them. Like, our government made sure that every day we were like bombarded with like fear-mongering news, like, oh, there's this many cases, this many like deaths, and we were properly terrified and scared over here. But we don't know if in South Korea it's true. They're telling their people, we have it under control. We're testing so many people a day,
and they did to a degree because their numbers they were able to flatten their curve. Flatten the curve. I hate these sayings, like
what you're saying though.
But they were able to like flatten them like very, very quickly, you know, whereas everybody else, you see that like the exponential growth, they were kind of able to quell it down a lot. So it maybe seemed like things were like, oh, like we're cool. Like,
that's true.
You know,
there's even a country like today that just announced that like they're done with the pandemic. Like, the pandemic's finished. Like, I don't want to call out like the wrong country, but I swear I saw that in the news today.
And I hate to like laugh, like I'm only sane by laughing. So this is I'm by no means laughing like at any of these situations or anything like that, because it's like no laughing matter in that way. But it's just like to say that, oh, our country is done with the pandemic. Like, which country was that? I need to know.
I don't know if it was Slovakia.
Oh no.
Or if it was Sweden. See, I don't want to call it like the wrong name. Maybe I'll find out and put it in the comments later. But yeah. It's like that's real.
It's like, pandemic, you are finished.
Yeah, right? Like, that's very optimistic.
I guess speak it into existence.
Yeah. Right? Exactly. And then I don't want to blame the guys too much because like Jungkook and Mingyu didn't have any activities during their 14 days. So I guess they stayed home. It makes me wonder, did they socially or like physically distance from the other members in the group? Did the members know where they went? Were they putting them at risk by any chance? I really hope not.
Those are all stuff that we wouldn't know.
Exactly. But like as for Cha Eunwoo and Jaehyun, they actually had activities that they were doing with their with their groups, or like they were emceeing and stuff. So who knows if their companies told them like, you have to go.
That's true.
Like, we are under contract. You are promoting with Astro. I don't care what you did last night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, I can see that too. And I don't know their companies, so you'll never know from the outside. But sometimes you do hear about companies being pushy, or companies kind of making their idols work even if they don't feel comfortable. And I could see that. It's like we have this booked. They expect all 6 of you guys. You better bring your ass over here. I don't care if you went to the club last night, right?
Exactly. So, like, that's your private life.
Right? And this is business.
Exactly. We don't know.
But I mean, that's our thoughts for now. There's going to be more information, obviously, that comes out.
Yeah, as the other companies speak out.
Yeah. And even now, like, they've tested they've tested negative.
Yes.
They've tested negative. Let's hope that they continue to test negative in the future, and that's all we can do, right?
Exactly.
So I think that's about it for a lot. It's kind of late. I mean, I'm still probably going to be up another like hour or so, but I mean, there's nothing much more to say yet.
Yeah, I mean, I could go into theories and stuff
Ramble.
like vaccine theory, or like no,
Oh,
sorry, herd immunity theories and stuff like that.
oh,
I could talk
that
about
was
that. Okay, I
interesting.
can mention it really briefly. If you guys have never heard of, I believe his name is Hedrich, and he was a scientist in the 1900s. This was before vaccines, and he was actually studying measles and the impact it had on children. And he found out that, like, when children are exposed to a virus, like 68% of children are exposed to a virus and they are immune, they're more likely to not experience like epidemic proportions of like any sort of virus. It basically that creates herd immunity when you've got 68% of the population who has been exposed to something and is totally immune.
And they've
So
become naturally immune through
exactly.
exposure.
Thank you. Naturally immune through exposure or through a vaccine, and that's not a vaccine against a particular virus. That's a vaccine that has. I suppose it would have it within the virus, within the vaccine. It's kind of confusing.
It would be so that, because you explained it to me, it would be so that your body would develop antibodies toward, like, for the virus, and then afterwards it would even the next generations and stuff like that of these children would be immune as well. You would assume, right?
Yeah. So if you go by that, by his theory, that would mean that, and I looked it up and the numbers were alarming, but like 5 billion people, according to his theory, if it's right, 5 billion people plus would have to be exposed in the world and be naturally, develop immunity to the coronavirus in order for the world to be basically rid of this. And that could be through vaccines once again, but that could also be through like natural exposure. So it's a whole lot of people. So, I mean,
and then you have Bill Gates wanting to vaccinate the whole world. I don't care. You call me an anti-vaxxer, but like I don't like Bill Gates. I'm sorry.
I'm side-eyeing him. I'm very suspicious. There's a lot of interesting news out there, alternative news that isn't all the way, crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's a whole lot of people that would have to be exposed in order for us to gain natural immunity. So that would mean all these incidences of like these new cases,
they would have
clusters.
to happen.
Thank you.
They would have to happen.
Thank you. That's what I was getting at. It took me a million years, but yes. I didn't want to say it, but it would have to happen.
Yeah.
You would have to have most of the world being exposed and then getting over it.
So are you saying now that they made the right move?
No. I mean, I don't know.
Well, you're saying
I think it's still dangerous. I wish there was like a treatment. I wish that there was like a treatment or a cure, because then technically.
But if we don't have those first like people who decide to be like, oh, I'll be the guinea pig. I'll go out and see if the club's all right to go to. If you don't have them, then no one's going to develop the herd immunity, and then we're all just gonna, I guess, like the epidemic level of infections are going to happen again, and then you're going to have the people passing away, unfortunately, at the same rates.
That's true. This whole social distancing, physical distancing thing, like I've been thinking about it, and it doesn't stop the spread of it. You know what I mean? Like it slows it down. It doesn't completely halt the spread of it. It's going to keep spreading. And I think they just kind of don't want to overwhelm like the medical system and stuff like that. That's why they don't want everyone going out at once and just living life as normal, because they can't take care of so many people if they get really sick. But I don't think any of these governments secretly expect this to disappear because we're all physically distancing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's no science behind it. Like, it would be like once you go back outside,
you're gonna have to go out at some point.
There, yeah,
it's still there.
You would get infected.
Thank you. It doesn't disappear because we're in our home. Like the minute, anyway. Yeah. You guys get it, I think. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts too.
Seriously. I think like it's coming on 3:00 a.m. on our side. So I'd feel like really bad to keep everybody. Actually, I just want to go to bed. I'm
Just
I'm
lies
trying
and
to think like
lies. And then, you know what?
I just want to go
I'm
to
just trying
bed.
to get offline.
So, um, guys, tell us what you think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching
Yeah,
and
thanks so much for your
tuning in with us.
patience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we tried to do this stream like 3, 4 times before we actually got this going, and I thank you guys for your patience.
For sure.
But yeah, we're gonna head out at this time. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. We want to try to do more lives. The last one we did was like literally in March,
Yeah.
3 months ago. So
We want to get more comfortable with these too.
yeah, because then we wouldn't have this, you know. Can I cuss?
Sure.
We wouldn't have this kind of fuckery going on. I'm sorry, like the fuckery with like all 3 and 5 different lives like we're trying to start. So anyway, as I was trying to say, good night, everybody.
And please share your opinions in the comments. Like, what do you think of this whole situation? Do you think that they did the wrong thing? Do you think that maybe there's a misunderstanding? You know, what are your thoughts about these guys going out and just having fun? You know, like you only live once,
And they're young.
and they're young, and people make mistakes. I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys? Or do you think like no, like they're old enough to know better? Share your thoughts in the comments.
And we'll see you guys in the next video. As always,
Take care, stay safe, and we love you guys.
peace.
Bye.